Welcome back, GAMEYAAAD family. Thank you again for joining us for this another video. Now, I would have shared with you the fourth day roundup of the Jamaica Scorpions and the Windward Islands Hurricanes, and also the Guyana Harpy Eagles against the combined campuses and colleges team. So now I will be sharing with you the fourth day's roundup for the Barbados Pride against the West Indies Academy, and also the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force against the Windward Islands Volcanoes. Now, the Barbados Pride would have wrapped up a dominant innings and 54-run win over the West Indies Academy. As expected, the Barbados Pride comfortably completed a commanding innings and a 54-run victory over the West Indies Academy on the final day of their day-night encounter at the Kensington Oval. With the Academy reeling at 211 for 6 overnight, the Pride needed just 4 wickets to seal the win, and they did so with minimal resistance. However, the visitors found a small silver lining in Carlton Bowen-Tuckett, who converted his overnight 71 into a well-crafted unbeaten century, finishing on 103 not out as his team was bowled out for 288 runs. Despite his valiant effort, it was Jamel Warrican who would have taken 6 for 104 and Raymond Simmons 4 for 43 who dictated terms, tearing through the Academy's lower order to complete the dominant all-round performance for their host. Bowen-Tuckett and Zishan Motara 10 resumed the day, hoping to stage a fight back, but Warrican struck early, bowling the latter to open the floodgates. Johan Lane scored 27, and he showed brief resistance, putting together a stubborn stand with Bowen-Tuckett, who was determined to reach his milestone. The wicket-keeper batter eventually raised his century, a lone highlight in an otherwise disappointing innings by the Academy. However, once Lane was caught off Warrican, the end came swiftly. Simmons claimed the 4th wicket when he had McKinney Clark caught behind, before Warrican fittingly wrapped up things up when he bowled Jediah Blades for 4 to complete a superb 8-wicket match haul. The win cemented Barbados Pride's dominance in the contest, having amassed 581 for 9 declared in their lone innings. So scores in the match, Barbados Pride would have made 581 for 9 declared. Craig Brathwaite would have scored a double century, 212. Jonathan Drakes, 117. Lenika Boucher, 65, and the pick of the Academy's bowlers were Johan Lane, 4 for 85, Joshua Bishop, 4 for 137. West Indies Academy, in their reply, they would have scored 239, with Rivaldo Clark getting 78, Joshua Bishop an unbeaten 57. Holder was the pick of the Barbados Pride's bowler with 6 for 70. Jamel Warrican 2 for 57. The Academy batting a second time. They would have scored 288, as I said before, with Carlton, Bowen Tuckett, an unbeaten 103, Teddy Bishop 58, and the pick of the Pride's bowlers are Raman Simon 4 for 43 and Jamel Warrican 6 for 104. Right, as I said in previous video, the academies, they are not really playing very well. They have gotten some really bad beating in the tournament so far, and they need to improve their game. They need to be applying themselves better in these games. Cannot be losing by those kind of margin. Right, let us jump over to the Arnasville Stadium, where Khary Pierre, he became the first bowler to ever follow 7-wicket haul with an 8-wicket haul in the next match in a regional 4-day cricket. Khary Pierre, the 33-year-old Trinidad and Tobago Red Force left-arm spinner, wrote his name in the history book of West Indies cricket with a remarkable bowling feat. He took a career best 8 for 27 on Friday as the Trinis destroyed Windward Islands by an innings on 176 runs inside 3 days in the regional first-class match under lights at the Arnasville Stadium. This was a follow-up to his previous career best of 7 for 40 last week against the combined campuses and colleges team at the Brian Lara Cricket Stadium, or the Brian Lara Cricket Academy, when the Red Force also recorded a comprehensive victory. This is the first time in the regional 4-day first-class cricket dating back to the 1860s that a bowler has taken a 7-wicket haul followed by an 8-wicket haul in the next match. Pierre is the leading bowler in the season. After 2 matches, he has the amazing bowling statistics of 2 for 50, 7 for 40, 4 for 17 and 8 for 27. Overall, he has bowled 61.2 overs, 15 maiden, conceded 134 runs and captured 21 wickets at an average of 6.38 and a strike rate of wicket every 17 balls. That is top class bowling by Khary Pierre. With the 2 wins, the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force have emerged as the early front runner on the points table of the 8-team competition, the oldest sporting tournament in the Caribbean. They also have the leading run maker with the experienced Jason Mohammed on 279 runs in 2 innings. The 38-year-old former West Indies ODI captain has scored back-to-back centuries. He made 176 against the CCC on home soil and followed up with a 103 in St. Vincent. He is followed closely by John Campbell, the Jamaican captain, with 258 in 3 innings, and Jamar Hamilton, the Leeward Island keeper, with 220 in 3 innings. Alright, so scores in the match. The Windward Islands Volcanoes, they would have made 166 in their first innings, with Covem Hodge getting 126 out of that 166, and the pick of the bowlers for the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force would have been Khary Pierre with 4 for 17 from 8.1 over, and Yannick Carrier with 4 for 30 from 10 overs. Trinidad and Tobago, in their reply, they would have scored 456 runs. Cephas Cooper would have scored 117 from 225 deliveries, and Jason Mohammed would have scored 103 from 193 deliveries. The pick of the Windward Islands bowler include Darrell Cyrus would have taken 4 for 105 from 38.5 overs, and Shadrach Descartes would have taken 2 for 72 from 21 overs. The Windward Islands batting a second time, they would have scored 114 all out in their second innings. Jeremy Salazar would have scored 36 from 75 deliveries. Darrell Cyrus would have scored 17 from 17 deliveries. And Khary Pierre would have taken 8 for 27 from 11.4 overs. And Jaden Seals would have taken 2 for 16 from 6 overs. Right? And the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force, as I said, would have won the game by an innings and 176 runs. Right? The Windward Islands Volcanoes, they are another team that is not doing well in the competition so far. These are some really bad loss. Losing by an innings and 176 runs that's really poor cricket all around. Only GAMEYAAAD would have shown some resistance in the first innings, having scored 126 out of the 166 that the Windward Islands scored. Right? They have to be doing better at this level, right? And I hope that they will bounce back in the next game. Alright, so this is where I will leave it for now. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please remember to like the video, to share. And let me tell you, when you like the video, that really encourages me to provide more content for you. Please remember to subscribe. These are the simple ways that you can support the channel, by viewing first, and by liking the video, by subscribing to the channel, by commenting, and even by sharing the video with your friends and families. Thank you so much for joining us, and we really appreciate your support, and we will see you in the next roundup. Peace and blessings one and all.